When did basic military training actually prepare you perfectly? Everyone jokes about basic training being a waste, screaming at empty fields, scrubbing boots that get muddy again in 2 minutes, learning rules you'll never need. I believed that too, right up until I became a middle school teacher. My first day at Lincoln Middle, I stepped into total madness. Kids flinging pencils, shrieking across the room, ignoring the substitute who'd quit trying and was scrolling her phone. The principal had warned me this was the worst class in the building. 4 teachers had already walked out that year. I stood in the doorway watching 28 12-year-olds bounce off the walls. That's when my old drill sergeant's voice came back to me. Discipline starts with respect. Respect starts with order. Order starts with you. I walked to the front of the room. Didn't shout, didn't beg, just stood up straight, perfectly still, eyes ahead. Took maybe 20 seconds for the first kid to notice, then a second one. Within 90 seconds, total silence. "Good morning," I said in my command voice, the one that used to make recruits snap to. "You will stand when I walk in. You will stay standing until I say sit. You will speak only when I call on you." One boy snorted. "Who are you supposed to be, some army lady?" I was an army lady. "Sit down and be quiet." The room went ice cold. These kids had never met someone who'd really been responsible for other people's lives. They could feel the gap between pretend power and the real thing. I set the rules right away, no talking without permission. Raise your hand, wait to be called on, stand when you answer. Consequences came fast and didn't bend. Break a rule, lose a privilege. That simple. I used lines for everything. Line up for lunch, line up for the bathroom, line up to leave. They groaned at first, but it worked. No more pushing, no more chaos, just order. I started inspections, clean desks, neat papers, sharp pencils. Random checks turned into random backpack checks. I found a vape, a knife, somebody's stolen phone. I handed it all to the office without a fuss. The change was amazing. Within a few weeks, my room was the calmest in the school. Grades shot up. Other teachers came asking me how, but the real test came during the lockdown drill. A pretend intruder alert. Most classes fell apart. Kids crying, teachers frozen. Not mine. The code red came over the speaker. My training kicked in at once. Everyone down against the back wall. Total silence. Now. 28 kids dropped instantly. No questions, no stalling. I locked the door, killed the lights, slid desks into a barrier. The same steps I'd learned overseas. Stayed calm, kept them calm, whispered about exits, where to meet, what to do if we got split up. Things I'd learned clearing buildings in Iraq made smaller for a classroom of kids. When it ended, the principal stared at me. "Your class was the only one that did it right. How are they so steady? Same way the army turns nervous teenagers into a unit," I said. Clear rules, steady consequences, real respect. Those kids started calling me Sarge instead of Miss. I wore it proudly. They bragged to the other classes that they had a real soldier for a teacher. By the end of the year, a bunch of them said they wanted to serve someday, said I'd shown them what real leadership looked like. That discipline wasn't punishment. It was getting ready for life. Years later, I still get letters from my old students. A nurse, a firefighter, a young woman in the army. They thank me for teaching them how to follow through, how to respect the people in charge, how to hold steady when everything's loud. One girl, Priya, wrote from her first week of training. "Thanks for getting me ready for this. While everyone else is panicking, I already know how to line up, how to stand for inspection, how to shut up and listen. You gave me a head start." That's when it hit me. Basic training hadn't prepared me for war. It had prepared me for leading, for taking responsibility, for bringing order to chaos. Every day in that room was like being a drill sergeant again. Only instead of building soldiers, I was building good people. Instead of getting kids ready for war, I was getting them ready for life. Best job I ever had. And it turns out, all those hours of pointless marching weren't pointless at all. They were practice for the most important mission of my life.